Ms. Jeanne Johnston, and I am a clinical associate professor at the School of Public Health Bloomington. And I wanted to take a few minutes to describe the activity that I set up for my students and my reasoning behind it. The class that I utilized was physical activity and disease. And in that class, the students learn about the prevalence of diseases, the etiology, treatment plans for different diseases, and with all of that information, we come together, we put together a way to assess people and prescribe exercise to them. In the past, I had done this where I gave them case studies and they were in small groups of 3 or 4, and they went off and they worked on their own and they submitted a written document. Some of them were very good, and some of them you could see that they really just took 3 or 4 different pieces and put it together and it didn't flow. And I was involved in a engaged learning, faculty learning group through CITL. And I came up with the idea of using a case study where they would actually have to interview each other and then reflect upon their experience. And so this is what I did. I set up, I gave them the same case study. They played the role of the patient as well as the professional, and they flip-flopped that, so they got to play both roles, and gave them all the information and then had them walk through gathering information and designing a program. I feel that it was a very successful exercise. I've done this several semesters and I've gotten very good feedback from it. And I've also asked a student to describe her experience, and that is what follows after my message. Thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Ari Hill, and I am a senior at Indiana University Bloomington. Last semester, I was in Dr. Johnston's physical activity and disease class. In this class, we were learning how to create programs for disease populations, and specifically in this class, what we would start off with is kind of a presentation so that we would get the information and we could kind of have semi-mastery of it, take time to learn it at home. And then from there, we would do case studies and kind of get more in depth and see kind of a example of a client we may possibly have. And then we had the opportunity to talk to our classmates. And specifically, the one that stands out in our last big project was the cancer section. And in this section, we took more time to talk about the specific types of cancers and then kind of break down what is appropriate for exercise programming. We took this information and we went into our normal case study groups, but this time we were able to even have more challenging cases and then kind of bounce ideas off of each other, what we thought was appropriate and good planning. Um, then we did a video, so this is kind of further than what we've done with our other presentations and projects. We did a video where we would do a mock interview. And so in this mock interview, I kind of found the art of interviewing. So you don't want to walk in and just be like, hi, what kind of cancer do you have? Right? So I've learned that it's important to kind of start off with the fluff questions, I like to call them, or just the introduction of how you doing today and what kind of things do you do? What are your daily activities? What does your schedule look like? So kind of get them warmed up and get to know them. And then you can go into asking more personal questions, kind of about medication and their current state. And then finally, you can end off on any assessments you need to make. So that way you kind of work from personal, get to know them, get them comfortable, a little more personal questions to kind of avoid awkward pauses and silence. And then the final thing is the most personal, which is touching them. Perhaps you may have to, for range of motion, things like that, assessments. So I kind of found the importance in that project was I learned interviewing the most, and I kind of take pride in what I've learned there. And then finally, we were able to review the partner that we were put with for the video, their video, and kind of give them feedback. And I found that my feedback was very useful because I had a partner who was great at participating, but also I kind of saw some things that I could improve on. Even though it was a casual conversation, it still felt very real, and you wanted to do a good job. So learning how to be more fluid in the way that you speak and avoid, um, awkward pauses, ask more open-ended questions. So I think that was kind of the main thing that I took from that project, and I thought it was really nice. I've continued to use those lessons today. Thank you.